Hey guys, Hot Rod 08 here, and welcome back to another Challenger VOD review. Today we are going to be watching a game of Rumble in the Jungle, username 1145 versus Graves, who is Flower Dance. It's going to be an interesting matchup to watch these two. One, because I don't think you see too many Rumble players these days, and as well, Graves is rather strong at this point, so he is going to be pretty dominant throughout the game, so we'll be able to see if Rumble can keep up with our game. Other lanes include our Jin and Tom Kench in the bot lane versus Israel and Janna. You think that Jin will be able to have some presence in that lane as long as he doesn't get poked down. And Syndra versus Galio in the mid lane. And finally, Wukong versus Poppy in the top lane. So, as for jungle priorities this game, I feel like either Rumble's going to try to get either the bot lane ahead or the mid lane ahead. I feel like top might be a little difficult to gank, at least early, unless they're super pushing. And it'd be good if you can get either the Jen or the Syndra to be carrying this game, especially since you have that Tom Kench for that added protection. We'll see what ganking path Rumble decides to take this game. He started red buff, and he's going to go down to our fun little critters right here. Interesting to look to see how long it actually takes him to clear these objectives. I would more than assume that he's not the most healthy of junglers. He's going to be already leaving this about a half health. I'm also going to assume that this is going to be a jungler that is going to be relatively farming early and then ganking once he gets to that level 6. So we'll see if he has a little bit more activity than that, but that's how I'm kind of expecting this to go. He's just clearing every single camp possible. We'll probably speed this up just a tiny bit just to see, watch the overall ganking path that he does, and then see if he gets any fights. We'll go back to normal speed. So he's cleared out 4 camps at this point so far, and he's looking to get behind to see if he can get the gank. I think it will have hit those. Would have been a decent chance for a kill, and she realized that he was going to possibly move around, and Poppy is low enough health at this point that there's not really anything they can do to stop this Rumble at the moment. And he's just going to get all of this for free. At least the main big one, then he's going to get out of there because Poppy has teleport, and that could be risky. Although Graves is in the bot side if you look at the mini-map. So he knows he has no worries. Continuing to farm. In this top side of the map, again, we'll speed this up while we're in the farming phase. This, and as I said, since the Graves was spotted in the bot side, it's going to be a pretty easy invade, but at the same time they realize that there's a gank opportunity. Mid lane will go back, see how it's played out just a little bit better time. So it looks like he was just able to taunt his way out of that. Pretty standard. Most likely gonna go back to farming, and actually no, he does go straight into the top lane to at least try to put this pressure here. Wukong's not exactly joining though. I don't exactly blame him, not the best gank opportunity there. If you saw, there was a pretty good amount of minions that Wukong was sitting on. There's at least 5 they had to walk through, so he wasn't exactly feeling the gank right there, which is sometimes the correct call on his part, especially since it's not a guaranteed kill by any means. You don't want to be dropping that CS just for a little bit of harass. So Wukong made the right decision. Rumble was just trying to help, but not exactly in the best of positions to get that gank off, especially without his ult, since he is still level 4. Let's see, they did ping him out that he is towards the bot side. Getting these again. I don't remember him getting Gromp yet. I'm not sure if that's just a jungle camp that's difficult for Rumble to get or not. But I think he's gotten every other camp at this point except for that. He's going to be towards the bot side, probably working on potentially getting this Drake. I think he's just waiting to see if any of his other allies will join him, potentially, or they can dive, which to me seems kind of risky unless you do have the Syndra. So I think the other team spot out that they're about to get dove, though. It's a smart call on their part to try to back off. I don't know if they know where Graves is, so I don't know if they can exactly start chasing that. Looks like Graves was starting to gank this Syndra, but that's not happening anymore, so Rumble's just gonna go right back to farming. Graves is trying to gank the bot side, though, so he drops the red buff and try to turn on this. He is level 5 compared to level 6, though, so it is risky. They were able to get the burst damage, though. I think, yeah, Syndra had used her ult for that. Rumble with the wonderful flash play right there. Even challenger players make mistakes, especially on that jump. I always make that flashing mistake there. Never feels good to make either. Teammates aren't around still to do that, though, and he's still not level 6, so this is still risky. He really wants to get those levels, but everyone keeps getting him distracted. I will say that was a really good aimed Q from Israel. That Rumble, I'm assuming, should get at least level 6 here off of this wave. Dudes are nice when the jungler can go in a lane and start taking some of those minions. So now he's going to have his ult. This is going to be the time where he's able to make some better ganks. Bot lane might not be the easiest on the Israel since he can E out of the ult. Janna might be a little bit of an easier target. Mid lane, Galio wouldn't be the worst of targets in the world, but he is still a pretty tanky player. Back, just trying to farm up a little bit. We'll speed this up just a tiny bit. See, he's gonna get this red buff, and we'll see. Okay. And he's just gonna be farming this up again. He scales a pretty good amount into the game, so he's not in a big rush by any means to constantly gank. He will become a pretty big force to be reckoned with once this game gets just a little bit deeper into playing. Looks like he is going to path back bot lane. He hasn't been top for a while, so he is focusing on the bot side of this map, whether that's going to be the Israel or the Galio, which both of them actually so happen to be in the bot lane. Use his ult to try to kill the Ezreal there. I don't think he had vision that very second, though. That was a good gank overall on both the Galio and the Israel. Both those main carries are gone, so this should be pretty easy to get at least a couple plates down. And I'm assuming our Rumble is gonna just go back to lane. Or back to somewhere at least. It looks like Graves and Poppy are on the top side and they just use that Rift Herald. Clearly that top tower is gonna go down. Someone needs to try to stop the second one though. It doesn't look like... I'm not exactly sure what I was about to say. I'm not exactly sure what Rumble's plan was, but it looked like it was to join up with that Wukong with the teleport to try to kill the Poppy, but it didn't quite work out for him. Or at least definitely. So, Rumble doesn't have too many camps. Actually, he does have chickens. I think the mini-map of this game that was recorded doesn't show the camps being up, which is kind of sad. It'd be nice to look at the mini-map and look at what camps are all up. Nevertheless, looks like his main focus was this bot side, the 2 carries that I thought it would be. This should be a pretty easy gank. Really good bolt. Man, that was perfect. Between the root of Jen being able to go and get Israel when he stopped, as well as the Rumble was positioned just right to just had that little bit of a diagonal in that laning phase to be able to in that lane in order to stop Israel from being able to go anywhere after his E. And that route really helped too, as I said. Drake is going to be coming up pretty soon. Usually I have some timers for these things. This video doesn't have timers exactly showing, which is another minor disappointment. He's trying to get to this Poppy at the moment, but that wall is kind of stopping him from helping immediately. It looks like it wasn't even needed, though. I was about to say I'm curious as to why he's not going to clear that pink ward, but I think it's because that Drake just appeared, and that's probably going to be a big objective for them. Goes in for another gank, but the stun didn't land as he was able to get the flash. Rumble works pretty well into this too, because he himself doesn't have any hard CC by any means. But his laners both have a good amount of CC for what they should have in their lanes. So it really helps the Rumble get his ganks off when you have like Tahm Kench Q, a Jhin W, and ults that are slowing and rooting them, and Syndra, Scatter the Weak, also setting up. So it's a pretty good comp to have this Rumble in. You see, Rumble's not honestly doing anything super fancy at the moment. He's really just doing as much damage as he can while trying to not be too far forward to where he's out of position. Going to try to save Jhin at least. He tried to turn on Poppy, but Poppy's just too tanky at the moment. You think you'd be able to get that damage off, but she is doing really well at the moment. Jhin, that was a really good route. Ooh. That, honestly, that was really clean from the Jhin's part. That route was absolutely gorgeous to watch. We'll get back to our Rumble. Getting back to lane, though. looks like he's going to be going mid. Try help what used to be a couple enemy champions there. They ended up leaving though, so he's just going to go right back to warming up his engines per se to get that extra bonus. And continue to farm. Someone's taking a blue at the moment. I have 2 people. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do anything. I'm surprised he actually used his ult there. Maybe it was to try to trap them. If they didn't have a blast cone, that was a pretty good idea, honestly. But with the blast cone, I'm highly assuming they used in order to get over that wall. It just wasn't able to stop them. Point. Rumble isn't really that tanky, so he really does have to stick back, not be a casualty for no reason. Yeah, he's going all AP at the moment, so he's pure damage Rumble, which explains why he's not really trying to frontline too much. He's trying to keep his range, do his damage from a distance, and he knows that he can't tank as much as he a Rumble would normally be able to with just a few more tankier items. Graves is heading back into his jungle, so don't have to worry about that. They have a pretty long top lane, though, with double turrets down. That Poppy's really making a mess out of the Wukong 1-6, which is a nice point to mention here, too, that Rumble was focusing on the winning lanes, that Syndra and Jhin, a lot more than the losing lane of Poppy versus Wukong, which is usually the correct thing to do, is to focus on what's strong instead what's weak. He's got to be careful where he positions so Poppy doesn't slam him into a wall, so that was good patience, knowing if he just kept going forward that he was going to get rammed into that wall, so I'm glad he kind of positioned himself to not die in that way. That was really smart on his part. Rage is in an interesting position, but you can see how squishy that Rumble is. He really can't frontline for anything. That's why he has to stay so far back. Graves is pretty ballsy at the moment, if I would say so myself, but getting that extra charge off on the second Herald, those things have been doing a lot of damage to our Rumble's team. Red's gotten both of them at this point in the game. Graves still top side, it looks like, trying to get on the Wukong. He's probably gonna die, considering he's 1-6. He hasn't really been doing really well this game. Yeah, he ended up getting another kill. So Wukong's just absolutely falling flat this game. Graves is top. So trying to get this Drake might not be worse, but there is a fight going on, so he really does need to help this, which he eventually does go to. I think Rumble wanted to turn just a little bit sooner than he could up there, since he is rather squishy. Thought the Poppy was going to go down a little faster, but that Poppy really is tanky at the moment with 2 full items at this point, Sunfire Cape and the Spear Visage, I do believe, for the MR. So Rumble's right back in the game. We'll see where he is going to decide to focus on. Looks like he's going to try to head towards the bomb mid. side of this. Now, this mini-map isn't showing that Baron is up, but pretty darn sure since we're past the 20-minute point and no one's taken Baron yet, that Baron is still sitting there playing those mini-maps, just not showing us that detail. Wukong is huge. No, actually, Jin this time ended up dying, so that's going to be pretty painful. Tahm Kench literally just sacrificed his life. That is the sad life of a support, but man, did that support do his job. Absolutely save Rumble. Your 5-2 carry not dying and trading the 3-4 Tahm Kench at the time. Definitely worth the trade for those lives. So Tahm Kench, proud to have him as a support. I'm sure Rumble is thanking him. As for this Baron still could possibly up, but they just pinged out the grave, so they're moving immediately towards the grave site. At this point, Galio just ulted the grave. Syndra was able to make it out, though. Rumble's still got a pretty long walk to be here, though. Again, looks like Rumble didn't make it in the best of positions there. Really, if we're gonna go back to where he was. So, he's already getting pinched between the Janna on this side and then the other two, the Galio and the Poppy on there when he was trying to get through that. So when you're someone squishy like this non-tank Rumble, that positioning is going to be key. Just wasn't expecting to get sandwiched there. He is true glass cannon with this build. So much damage, but also so much squish to just absolutely get annihilated. Jin's going to be the main carry up this game at this rate. Wukong's trying to kill Janna, but he's so weak at the moment, he can't really even kill that. Wukong's back down. Wukong is almost a non-factor in this game, whereas Poppy is absolutely destroying everyone. Syndra was able to burst down to 80 carry. I'm not sure how Syndra got into that position, but nevertheless, I'm sure none of their team is complaining to get Israel out there, since he is 10-7 at this point. And he's about as strong as a Israel ever gets with his 3 items at this point. And look at that follow-up, the Rumble ult down that straight line. That's why you love playing Rumbles, when you have those straight lines in order to use your ult. That's why when you are playing Rumble on your team, you really want to play within the jungle, those team fights, because your ult's going to be a lot more effective in the jungle and catching out those choke points rather than middle of the map open fields where people can easily get out of his ult. So the enemy team really wants to stay out of the jungle at this point for probably the majority of their fights, whereas our team probably prefers to have their fights in the jungle in those closer quarters. I was about to say, I'm trying to figure out what Rumble's want to do here. He's just trying to keep his CS up, though. He doesn't see any think he can help mid at that very second, cause pressure for that tower that's almost going to be falling down, so he thought he'd just get a little bit of CS instead. Dragon is about to come up again. This will be the enemy team's Dragon Soul for the Infernal, which no team wants anyone to get any of the souls. Infernal being a pretty powerful one too. You can see how Rumble is really trying to stay to the side. He's not trying to fully engage that Israel either. He was just trying to poke, keep his distance, and waste his time in the process too. So at this point, they're going for Baron. They've got both the Poppy in the top lane down, as well as Israel as 80 carries. So this is, whereas our team has no one down. This is a pretty good chance to get this Baron. Graves isn't going to make it there in time. Looks like Galio's going to try to stop that, but it's just not going to work. And Galio's going to be down now for the next 38 seconds, so that's going to be even more money to do something with. Tom Kench and them need to just leave this Wukong to whatever devices he's doing by himself, considering he's not even at 2 items yet in 27 minutes in the game. He is just falling flat. Kind of interesting, though, I don't know if you noticed, but both the Rumble being 5-3 and 10 and the Wukong being 3-9 and 3 actually had the exact same amount of gold, with that Wukong having being a laner and having apparently 41 more CS, no, 51 more CS. So with that pack, I was about to say, I was thinking that Wukong might have been able to get a second item, never did. Our team was able to get that in phone, though. So that is going to be off the table for at least another 4 minutes or so. At this point, probably a tiny bit longer. So they don't have to worry about the enemies getting that Drake Soul. That really needs to be their attention, is to not give over that big objective to the red team. This is a pretty close game, so mistakes on either side really do make a difference. Rumble understands that Galio is saving Graves. Probably could kill him without the Galio around, but understands that ult could come, and he's still squishy as all. Yeah, Rumble again gone to a kind of a sandwiched position here as soon as this loads. Yeah, between enemies coming in this lane and in the river down here, really not that much position-wise Rumble could do. Again, when you're playing a glass cannon like this, positioning is just key, and it is. That's why usually tanks are easier to play overall, is because when you're in those positions, you're still gonna last a decent while, as opposed to when your glass cannon like this Rumble is going. You really do have to care for this position. You can be, you know, absolute menace if you get your damage off. You just gotta know what you're doing with your character so you're not getting caught out. Since you die at this point in a matter of like 2 seconds. So it's lost. They're in him. Gonna be trying to engage yet again on the enemy side with that Tom Kench ult, but I don't know. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think they had enough of their team together in order to truly do that. Syndra tried to teleport from behind, but that wasn't exactly well coordinated. Syndra, I can't tell what she's doing. She's trying to get behind some of the squishies, but she's quickly getting out of position herself. Oh, that was really good teamwork by both carries. They're literally going to be the carries of this game, that Jhin and Syndra together. At least they're the ones that are alive at this point. Both of them are doing pretty well, and both of them have 14.4k gold each. Now they just have to work together in order to not get decimated. Let's see if they'll be able to find a position. Our Rumble is going to be coming back alive in about 3 seconds. That was a brilliant W yet again from that Jhin. That Jhin is really good. Let's see if Rumble and this Tom Kench are going to be able to catch up in time. Looks like Jin is, I was about to say, not moving for a while. I'm not sure what he was doing. Syndra is trying to peel off from the Poppy at the moment. You also notice, though, that they are getting killed by waves in the center, since their inhib is still down for the next 3 minutes. Another Drake taken away, though. That is going to be wonderful for them. Again, take away that win condition. The enemy team really needs to be focusing all their power in order to not die before that objective comes up. That is such a big objective to them to win the game. If they could just grab that Drake Soul, that would make a big difference in these fights. But enemies made a mistake dying right before that objective was going to come up, so our wonderful blue team with Rumble was able to take a second one away from them and continue to get their own AD and AP buffs going up with that. Looks like Tom Kench is going to be ganking the spot lane. Graves is in the top side. No one's reacting to his split push yet. They're just still chasing. I'm wondering who's going to be coming back. That Syndra's going to kill this. Janna, there's no way Janna makes it out of this. Does she? Wow. I wish we had a little bit of a better camera view to watch. I can't believe that Janna just made it out of all that. Graves is still side pushing, though. So we'll see. It looks like Rumble's going to stay. I was going to say going to stay, try to push out that lane, but he just went back to have a little bit of a safer back, I guess. Ooh, and there is a ward in there, so he did get stopped in his back again. People are still pushing that sideline. I think they just took another inhib. No, they haven't taken an inhib just yet. This Rumble, or this Poppy will finally fall, though. Graves and Galio did die in that sideline, so the only people alive at the moment are the Israel and the Janna, whereas our team has everyone alive. That's a really good sign. They are pointing towards going to that Baron, if that is coming up soon. Again, I wish we had these timers. That should be a way for our team to definitely win this game if they can get the vision out. Rumble's going to cover his rear end, at least. I haven't been paying attention to how many wards Rumble's been going, but you generally want Rumble and your support to be putting those a little bit of a deeper wards in, as opposed to being that far behind. Maybe I was just trying to make sure that teleport play wasn't going to happen behind them, but man, does that Baron steal really hurt. Now, it depends on how many people they're able to keep alive on the enemy team. They do have Poppy and Janna alive, where we have both our carries and our Rumble still alive, so that's gonna hurt our team tremendously. That was a big way for them to shut out this game. I guess good job on the Braves for getting that steal. That was really nicely timed on his part. What time are we at the moment? We are 34-24. I do want to see if Rumble even had the smite up for this. And no. Okay, so that's that's usually a big no-no. To do those, if your jungler doesn't have smite and the enemy jungler is still alive, it's risky to do that Baron if you have no idea on his smite timers. And smite is on such a short cooldown that you just usually have to assume that the enemy is going to have a smite. So that was a big costly mistake for the Rumble to not have that smite in that time, or for them to start that Baron without him having a smite. He needed to potentially tell him to try a different objective there if he didn't have smite and the enemy jungler was still alive. He's getting himself out of this, it looks like. Galio's doing his best to try to stop him, but wasn't able to catch up. So Rumble is trying to keep himself alive, is just constantly running from that and trying to attack from a distance. He's still worried about getting straight into these fights. He might have foreseen that they would not have won that, even if he would have fully tried that. Maybe instead of 0 for 1, how it turned out to be, maybe it would have been like 1 for 2, which is still a worse position to be. You have less control if you're dying in these games. Looks like our symbol for our Drake is finally working for some reason, though. So Drake is going to be coming up. Baron is up. We do have the timer up here. I guess usually I'm used to it down here. Baron will be up in 22 seconds. They did get that. They did get that Drake soul. So that was a mistake on our team's part again. Letting them have that, not setting up ward-wise or team-wise on that Drake. So we are at the point where they do have that soul for the red team. Looks like we're getting a nice engage. Redemption enemy team. Rumble ult's going down to try to catch them. They do get one kill. Wukong's trying to get the CC down on them with looks like Poppy trying to flank. She does get the flank and 1,000 gold. Jen is going on his own while Rumble is trying to kill the Poppy, but I just don't see that happening. Not tanking enough for that, but they do get the peel. It's only the Poppy alive versus the Jen, the Rumble, and the Wukong. So as long as they play this right, they should be able to get through this. That Redemption really does help. They do have enough damage in order to take down the turrets. And they're gonna goof off, try to kill the Poppy for that wonderful KDA. I don't like sticking around, but they do finally finish that game at 37 minutes and 38 seconds. So that was it for our VOD review today of Rumble in the Jungle versus Graves. I hope you enjoyed this VOD review. If you want to see more VOD reviews or some of my coaching streams I do on this YouTube channel, subscribe to this channel. And if you like this video specifically, leave a like and put in comments you would like for me to hear. Rather than that, I'm going to get off here. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.